Hi again, Gregg the News Tribune here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. I don't know if the Seahawks are as talented as the teams that made the playoffs 5 straight years through 2016. They're certainly not as experienced, but it feels now like a December of those years when the Seahawks have stormed into the playoffs by peaking and playing the best they have yet. That's what today's win felt like, albeit against a 2-10 San Francisco 49ers team. 43-16. The Seahawks dominate early, go up 27-3 early in the third quarter after Tyler Lockett's 84-yard kickoff return and then Rashad Penny's 20-yard rush around left end. They did it the way they've been doing it now for 2 months, running the ball early, setting the tone of running to set up the pass. Russell Wilson throws 3 touchdown passes on his first 4 completions, first 6 attempts of the game. And nobody in the NFL has really seen that before. Wilson throws just 17 times the whole game. It completes only 11, but 4 of them are for touchdowns. And they win going away. Bobby Wagner put away the game with any hope the 49ers had early in the fourth quarter. They were down 37-16. Wagner cuts in front of the rookie running back Wilson, intercepts Nick Mullins' pass at the 2-yard line, runs 98 yards the other way for a Seahawks franchise record interception return touchdown. What a game by Bobby Wagner. He's had a great season, but he outdid even himself today. 12 tackles, 1 off his season high he had done twice in the previous month. 2 tackles for losses, a sack, his first sack of the season. Forced fumble, he ripped the ball away from Wilson on the 13-yard line in the red zone in the first half when the 49ers were actually trying to make a game of it, down 13-0. Wagner rips the ball from Wilson at the end of a run at the 13 for a fumble recovery. Seahawks go the other way to go up 20-0 after that. He was everywhere, Wagner. All-pro self may have had the best game of his all-pro career. And why? Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. blitzed him more today. Blitzed him and Austin Calitro, the fill-in for KJ Wright at weak side linebacker. Blitzed them both more up the middle, especially early. And I asked Pete Carroll about that plan afterwards. He said, yeah, it was the plan to blitz more. They wanted to rattle Mullins by pressuring him up the middle, and it worked. Mullins got hit 15 times by a defense, sacks 5 times by a defense that had 0 sacks and 0 hits against Cam Newton last week against Carolina. Now I know Cam Newton and Nick Mullins is apples and a lot of different oranges, but still a defense much more attacking today here at home against a 2-9 team trying to bury him early, and they did. All right, you saw the Richard Sherman sideshow, the highlight of it right here in this end zone after Jerron Brown scored a touchdown on the opposite side of the end zone. The Seahawks receivers continue their season long of celebrations and run over to the other side of the end zone to do reenact Richard Sherman's tip pass against San Francisco in the January 2014 NFC title game. That was Baldwin's idea. He wanted to do it. He said he did not tell his good friend Sherman, who he had talked to all week, that he was going to do it, but he wanted to do it as a tribute. I saw some people online saying that he thought it was quote, trolling him, what the kids say, trolling him. It wasn't that. It was to honor him, and one of the best signature play of Sherman's brilliant career for the Seahawks that got him to their first Super Bowl that they ended up winning that season. Baldwin wanted to honor his good friend by doing that, and they did. But the Seahawks receivers had so many celebrations after touchdowns, 4 of them today. They were running out of them, Jerron Brown said, and they had to go to the well pretty deeply. They did one from the movie Life that Russell Wilson had said last week he had watched with his family at the end of Thanksgiving days while growing up. Nick Vannett was a part of that one. And Doug Baldwin, we asked why was Vannett part of that one. He said we had to find a white guy somewhere, and he was the closest one around to reenact the scene from the movie Life, the Eddie Murphy movie from a couple decades ago. So all fun and games for the Seahawks, obviously. Their 3rd consecutive win. What's it do? Well, they're now the 5th seed because Minnesota lost later this afternoon at New England. The Seahawks now have the 5th of 6 playoff seeds, the first wild card, which would mean a first-round playoff game at the number 4, the lowest seed of the 4 division winners. Right now that would be Dallas and or Washington, depending on what the Redskins do tomorrow night. But again, the Seahawks control their own fate. They've got Minnesota coming in here next week. Minnesota's 6-5-1. The Seahawks are now 7-5. If the Seahawks win that, they will have vanquished pretty much every opponent that could possibly tie them for a wild card, with the exception of Washington. And I'm not sure how long Washington's going to stay in the playoff race without their starting quarterback Alex Smith, who's out for the year. Colt McCoy's their quarterback. it is breaking well for the Seahawks, and they have made their own breaks with the way they've played here the last month. And again, running early to set up the play action pass works again on offense. Wilson only throws 17 times, only completes 11, yet they win again going away with some downfield throws to Tyler Lockett, 2 touchdowns to Jerron Brown, 1 short one to Doug Baldwin. That's the recipe for this team to do it. Pete Carroll said afterwards, I think we found a winning formula to go into the playoffs with. Now it's a matter of sustaining it through what has been, until last season's hiccup, the best month of every Seahawks season during their playoff runs. All's well here in Seattle for now anyway, on Sunday game. All my coverage is at thenewstribune.com. Follow me, of course, at gbellseattle. As always, thanks for watching.